So the other day I had a real revelation over something that happened years and years into the past. But at that moment it just popped into my mind and mind was blown. So what I want to do in this video is share with you what that revelation was and how you can use it to live a happy, fulfilling and successful life. And so watch this video until the end as I'm gonna share with you those nuggets. And so years ago, I was an avid gamer. Like I would spend maybe like 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a day playing video games. Right? For me, that was an escapism. It was a coping mechanism. Because at the time, I didn't have any clear vision for my life. I was dealing with a lot of stress, with a lot of negative emotions. I was in depression. And so video games were my way out. But that's just not what this video is about. And so I remember there was a new game coming out. I can't remember what the game was, but I was in a group chat where so many people got the game already. And they were like, oh my god, yeah, I spent like 2-3 hours in character creation. They were like, okay, what class do I pick? How do I adjust my points? And most importantly, like, what is my appearance gonna be? What is my character's name? And people were spending hours and hours in this character creation mode. And then the other day, I had this realization of, damn. Just damn. Like, people would spend 2, 3, 4 hours creating a character in a video game. But those very same people, if you ask them, they probably never sat down for an hour to think about the person they want to become in real life. Let that sink in for a moment. Most people in life, they wander around aimlessly. It's like in a video game you have this button that you just press like, hey, just to randomize my character. I have no fucking clue. And that's where people go in life as well. Maybe it's something their parents or their teachers or their peers around them has said. That it's like, you know what, maybe I'll try that. Or maybe it's basically just throwing darts at a map and seeing what sticks, right? That's how so many people go through life. Oh, maybe this thing. I'm willing to bet the vast majority of people have never set themselves down in a room like, I'm gonna sit myself in this chair right now and I'm gonna contemplate what I want to do with my life, who I want to become. And I can guarantee you the majority of people have never done that. And so most people go through life basically having clicked that random button in a character selection mode. They don't really know what they want to get out of life, and so they just go through the motions. And then afterwards they're like, you know, why don't I feel fulfilled? Why is my life not the way I want it to be? Well, guess what? You never set out to create a life that you truly want to live. You never took the time to decide, this is who I want to become. This is the life I want to live. This is where I'm headed. And they never actually took that path that got them there as a result. That's the crucial element here. So if you're watching this, a few things. Number one, I know it's old school, but take these. A pen and a piece of paper. Sit yourself down in a room where you won't be distracted. Don't take your phone. Don't put on any music. Don't have the TV on. Don't have any distractions. It's gonna be just you and your thoughts. You're gonna go to that room, that quiet place. You're gonna sit yourself down and you're gonna ask yourself, who do I want to become? What life do I want to live? What are my core values? And I'll talk more about those in just a moment. And so you're gonna ask yourself these questions, and again you're gonna just write down the answers. And by the way, you can go through this process a few times on repeat, like maybe now, maybe next week, next month, 2 months from now, and just to redefine this, right? It is a continuous process of figuring out who you are, who you want to become, and where you want to head in your life. And so that's the first thing. The second thing then is, if your goals require you to be a confident, capable person, then head over to transformationalconfidence.net or click the link below this video. I have prepared for you a free 5-day mini course where I'm sharing with you the best lessons from the past 14 years of my life that helped me go from zero confidence, from being bullied on a day-to-day basis, to now living a life where I truly feel great about myself. I have the confidence, I have the social skills, and I have the mission to live a fulfilling life. And so that's over at transformationalconfidence.net or by clicking the link below this video. And so for the third thing, it is to break it down, because I am fully aware that these are difficult questions to answer. And that's why most people don't do that. That's why most people just go through life just wandering aimlessly. If you want to live a life you can be happy about, you need to figure out what it is you truly want. And for this, it helps to break the question of what do I want my life to be and who do I want to become down. So you have two categories here. Your life you want to live and the person you want to be. So first of all, for your life, break it down into categories. So how do you want things to be with your relationships? How do you want your partner to be like? Your family? Maybe you have kids, right? What do you want your finances to look like? Where do you live? What do you do on a day-to-day basis? What kind of career do you have? Just write out these categories, and then under each of them, I want you to fill that out with an answer. And again, it's a process that continues on and on and on, right? It's evolving with you. It grows with you as you grow. And so for this second half here, of who do you want to become? Imagine this for a moment. There is someone who's going to be working with you. And they will be with you for every waking moment of your day. So from the time you get up out of bed and get dressed until the moment you get back into your bedroom and undress to go to sleep. Every moment in between that, this person is with you. And you will be working extremely closely with this person. So you need to choose very carefully, right? And so the rule here is you cannot select this person through their skills or their competencies, right? Normally you would look at a resume and it's like, oh, they've got this skill, they went to this university, this looks good, right? Not for this exercise. You can base your decision solely on one thing. And that is for the person you pick, the only thing you would get is a list of their core values. And so some examples of core values could be things like being open and honest, being a hard worker, not talking down on people, not making excuses and just taking full responsibility for your actions. It could be exercise as a non-negotiable, right? Whatever it is. So write down 5 to 10 core competencies that you would. So the exercise for this side is write down 5 to 10 core values at max. Write those down. Second step of this process then would be to write down why those things are important to you. And now here's the kicker here. It's easy to say, oh yeah, this person should have these competencies. For step number 3 in this process, do you have those competencies? Do you have those core values? And if not, if you're like, okay, I admire these traits in a person, but I'm not living up to myself on this, and this level, that's your challenge. That's the gap you have to bridge, right? And so the things that you admire most in other people, build those into yourself as well. And I know from experience, it's a tough journey. It's gonna take time. But as you do this, as you figure out, on one hand, I want my life to look like this. And on the other hand, this is the person I want to become. And you have listed out what those things entail. Now you can move towards that. Now you have more clarity in life than like 90% of people. I've never done any research on this, but like most people don't have this figured out. So I don't know if it's 90%, 80%, I don't know. The majority of people will never have put in the thought about how they want their life to be as you will have put in if you do this exercise. So I would urge you, take this out, pen and a piece of paper, and start this exercise. Start figuring out, who do I want to become? What's the life I want? And then the final step is kind of obvious, but most people don't do this. And that is, if you say, this is my finish line, you head towards the fucking finish line. Right? So many people know what to do. But if you're not actually taking the steps to make that gap from where you are to your goal smaller, you're not actually doing shit. That's the harsh reality. And that's how most people live their lives. And that's when you feel worse and worse and worse about yourself. So for this video, the process is on figuring out where that finish line is. And for that, subscribe to the channel, because I'll be bringing you more content on reaching that finish line, on bridging that gap over to the person you want to become. So go ahead, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, leave a like and share this video with someone who needs to hear this message, with someone who has no clue what to do with their lives. Share this video